Let's see. Leah says, these past few months, look, I look like a ninja. These past few months, me and my boyfriend haven't been spending time together, even though we have been with each other in the same household since August last year. But this while lockdown mayhem has driven our relationship up the wall. My boyfriend is constantly on his Xbox or watching YouTube videos on his phone, or he is in the bathroom for hours. And when he comes back, I ask what he was doing in there. His reply is, I was going to the toilet. It takes you an hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours to go. I think your comment got cut off there, Leah, but yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're in a situation where he's doing some things that you don't like, and what you've been doing is trying to like catch him on things, right? That's kind of the frame around what it sounds like is going on in your situation. He's doing things that you don't like, and instead of connecting with him and accepting him and loving him, what you're doing is you're going, okay, what are you doing? Why are you in there? What's going on? Right? Why are you not doing what I want you to do? Right? Which is the wrong way to go about things, because what that will do is create an adversarial relationship between you. You guys aren't partners anymore on this journey to creating the relationship that you want. Instead, he's got his life and his Xbox and going to the toilet for 2 hours, and you are doing your thing, whatever that is, and looking over at him going, why aren't you, stepping up and doing what you're supposed to be doing anymore? And so my suggestion, if you guys are in a committed relationship, which it sounds like you are, is that instead of focusing on what he's doing wrong, you start focusing on how to connect with him in a better way, right? And how to find ways to appreciate who he is and what he does and what he's about. And when you connect with him, you actually connect with him. You connect with him in a positive, powerful way, right? So when you're in a committed relationship, things shift a little bit, right? And what ends up happening is if you're actually committed, right, and you guys are fully committed to each other, what ends up happening is things come and it creates friction and problems and all kinds of different things. And there's two different ways that you can handle things. The first one is to sit down and have a serious talk, right? And just be like, hey, what's going on? I notice that you're playing Xbox all the time and you're spending 2 hours in the bathroom. Like, are you all right? Like you used to come and connect with me and we'd, hang out and have fun together and all this kind of stuff. Like it seems like you're like, off in this other land right now. Like what's going on, right? And actually having a real conversation with them where you just talk to him without blaming him, without shaming him, without attacking him, without doing any of those things, right? And the other way to do this, the other thing that you can do is start making sure that you're fulfilling his needs, right? Because if you're fulfilling enough of his needs, then what will end up happening is he'll start feeling addicted to you, right? And addicted to connecting to you and being with you and being around you. And if you fulfill all of his needs and have a talk with him and he's still like, doing off in la la land and not doing anything and not stepping up and not connecting with you and refusing to be a part of the relationship, you can't force him to decide that he will, right? And so what you have to do is decide that the relationship that you want to have is far more important than forcing this guy to be the guy that you want him to be. And once you do that, the way that you start communicating and the way that you start living your life will completely change. And you'll start pulling back and start creating your own identity in your own life. And he'll start seeing that you're doing this. And what most guys tend to do in this situation is start moving forward and being like, okay, we need to connect some more and all that kind of stuff. And what some other guys might end up doing is just pulling away and deciding that they don't want to actually be in that relationship. And either one of those things is something that you need to become okay with, right? And because once you're in that position, if he's not, fully committed to the relationship, and you guys aren't connecting, and he's refusing to, and you're making sure that you're connecting with him in all the ways that completely fulfill his needs. You're making him feel incredibly amazing, right? You're making him feel like he's important and valuable, and you're creating variety with each other, and you're making him feel stable and proud that he's with you, and all of those things, right? If you're taking care of all of his needs, and he decides that he still doesn't want a part of it, which is usually pretty rare, right? Like if you're in a committed relationship, and like what ends up happening is people just pull apart, and they pull apart because they have conflicts, because they have ideas about what's going on with the other person that aren't true, because they create in their mind that this person is kind of the bad guy and I'm the good guy, right? And that's what's going on with both of you, right? But when you kind of let go of all that, and you start having compassion for the other person, and you start loving that person, and you start connecting with that person, and you start giving that person everything that that person needs, generally what tends to happen if you really are in a committed relationship is the person goes, man, I am so lucky to be with this woman, and I want to be with her, and I want to step up, and I want to give her everything because she's giving me everything, right? A lot of women say, I'm giving everything to this guy and he's taking me for granted. But they're not giving the guy everything that he wants, right? Because usually the things that he wants aren't all the things that you're giving him. You're giving him all the things that you think you should be giving him, when instead you should be focusing on his needs, right? And usually a guy only needs a few things. And once he has those needs covered, he feels great and amazing. And he's just like, she's awesome. But if you're not doing those things, then it's kind of difficult to kind of reconcile things between the two of you. I hope that helps you out, man.